Right then, I'm sure this is the long-awaited vlog for some people, but to be fair, when I put the first one out, I had a lot of people talking to me about it, so especially at track, which is weird, people at track looking at land videos. But anyway, I've had a few people talking to me about it, and we're not alone with our plight. So as you can see, the sign that we put up for the planning application, somebody slit it. I think somebody shot at it as well. There's a dent in it, so I think somebody shot at it. But it's still standing, which when it was twice windier than this when I was printing it up, I didn't think it was gonna. So that's that. And obviously to tick the green box, I have rode my bike here, which that was 9 kilometres from work. So I'm like, not in good fettle. Even though it's an e-bike, the brakes are sticking and battery's very low. So anyway, because I've left charger at home. So yeah, as you can see, the land is still here. People are dumping tyres on it, which is annoying, and a Christmas tree. That other one might have been mine, you never know. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. So after the last video, we sort of got in touch with a few people. We were about a month later than we wanted to be putting the planning application in, so then it was Christmas. I think there were some troubles for some people in the council, which not sure what they are, but apologies to them if we've not helped putting extra planning applications in. We're still navigating some sort of things that have got worse for us, mainly because this has been classed as a major development, which I don't agree that it is, but apparently the criteria were met and it's a major development. But as you can see, it's not really got much going on here, but I was very negative in the last video, and I'm trying to put a positive spin on what is expensive and annoying things, but we're not property developers, we're not land developers, it's not our thing, so this does seem like a lot of red tape for what should be a fairly straightforward thing. Hopefully, as this is progressing through the council, the right people are looking at this, and rather than going against us, they're going to be for us. I don't think at the minute with what's going on, any red tape can be cut, but if you watch the news and look at what all the politicians are saying, we should be getting some help at some point, whether we want it or need it or not, I'm sure, because we are really trying to help out the local area, which, don't get me wrong, we're not doing charitable work, we're going to earn money over it, but this is, if at the best, I think looking at the calculations that people have got, at the best we're probably going to be looking at this being like a 15-year payback before we make any profit. So it's charity work for the first 15 years, and then hopefully it turns into something that probably the kids are going to see the benefit of, at least my kids anyway, because Scott's not got any. So we shall see. So obviously, because we've got an architect on board, they're going to do things properly, not how we did the last build. The last build we did were pretty straightforward, to be fair. The first one were a nightmare, the second one was straightforward. This one is just a different level because of the drainage, the ponds, all that sort of stuff. But we did get some nice 360 visual walkthrough stuff, so we'll try and put that on there. That's all been submitted to the council, and apparently that does, or did help with getting the things over the line for it to be a valid application. Not approved, we're not there yet, but that should be interesting to some people. So at the minute we are just finalising the package for the tendering process. So we're going to try and do this officially and not just get a few prices and then go with whichever's cheapest. We want to do a proper tender process, which means then companies can come in and say, yeah, we do like how you're going to do that, but a little couple of tweaks here and there are going to save you some money and mean they make more profit, which everybody's going to make some money out of this job. But if it goes to the point where the numbers that some people have said previously, it just ain't going to happen, whereas based on what we did previously, it can definitely happen. So we're going to end up somewhere in between, I think. Obviously, everything's gone up a little bit in value, but I think we're nearly, if we get this done in 2025 or at least well on its way, we're going to, I don't think we're going to have as picky contractors, but we're in a better position because at the minute, I think with all the stuff we talked about in the previous videos, there's going to be a lot of people stood about wondering when projects are going to start off, and a lot of projects are just not going to get kicked over the line with the planning unless there's some reforms there, which I don't think is going to happen anytime soon. Hopefully we can get it done in 2025. That is the dream. The dream would be there's some interior fit outs happening over winter, that'd be perfect, because that means I can get my hands dirty and do some plumbing and do a bit of joinery and whatever else needs to be done. So if anybody is interested in the tendering process, I think initially we're going to look at just one company coming doing everything, that'd be good, or 2 separate companies, somebody doing all the groundworks and literally everything underground and the concrete work, and then a company putting the buildings up. That's kind of how I see it happening, because the interior fit out's very minimal really. We're going to try not to phase it and just do it all in one big hit. Obviously, as the buildings are up and watertight and they can be inhabited, then we will. If that's not going to work, we'll just do it all in one big go and then get them all sorted. There's a lot of comments from the council and the police about the crime, so a lot of stuff we're having to build in sort of to prevent crime. So there's going to be CCTV, there's going to be cantilever gates that shut at certain times and stuff like that, so and a lot of fencing and lighting and all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be to an high spec, so hopefully that interests people in the area. We're not dead set on how big the units are going to be overall, so now's the time if you want a big one to get involved. So yeah, if you're interested in a unit or you're interested in building a unit, get in touch. Obviously we'll put the methods for the tendering process in the description if it's all sorted by then. If not, it'll be a generic email to us just saying get me on board, send me a message when it's ready. But otherwise, the companies that need to get in touch, we can't just have man in a van companies. There's going to be quite a lot of money laid out before we stage the payments, I'm sure. We've not sorted that out yet, but I'm sure there's going to be significant money have to be put down. So yeah, so one of the sort of final hurdles that me and Scott's got to deal with is the fact that it's really our responsibility is buying the biodiversity credits, because we're at a deficit. So that I don't think it's going to happen before this video goes out. So if anybody's got any ideas on that, we'll put some links to what we've already found, send us all that stuff if you're really interested in that. That is it's not an unknown at the minute. It's going to cost a few quid. It doesn't look as scary as it potentially was. Now we've come up with some stuff. We did try to get them numbers down as much as we could, but it's just one of them inevitabilities of this sort of site. This, to some ecologists, is like an oasis, but whether we agree or not, we've still got to pay to play, so we shall see. But yeah, hopefully this is more of a positive experience moving forward, and I'm hoping the next video is when there's some big toys on site and we can start scraping away and digging. And
everybody's dying to have a go.
Yeah, everybody wants to come and have a go with a big loading shovel and excavators and dumper trucks and road rollers, other machines I don't know names of. Yeah, so we'll see, and hopefully it all goes to plan. Thank you. My